Hello everyone, Ron again, and in this video we are going to talk about clarity from the perspective of frequency range. So if you look at this parametric EQ2, which is really big now, you'll notice across the top you have words like treble, high mid, low mid, bass, all of that good stuff. The different words that you may hear being said when referring to music or music production. For example, you might have heard of the treble clef. You know, everybody knows what bass is. Sometimes bass can refer to a bass guitar though. It can refer to bass frequencies that are down here. Or it could refer to a kick drum. You know, so in this video, we're going to take a look at the way you write something so it will naturally be clear because of how it is written. So essentially, this requires talking about the concept of tonal balance. So there is a given balance of all frequencies that are present in a mix that are going to sound balanced to us, and we're going to be able to appreciate them musically. Like say for example, you can see my voice, and if there is too much information up here, my voice will sound harsh. If there was too much down here, it might sound bassy like this. So given that understanding, the same thing applies to a mix, right? Like if I was to EQ my voice to try to make it sound more clear, for example, if I did something like that, I might decrease an area around here, and I'm not wearing headphones right now, so I'll see how it changes later. But that's just the idea of if my voice was not tonally balanced, which it very well may not be after doing this, I would EQ it to fix it. So it stands to reason that I may have to do less if I just write it in such a way that it's balanced. Meaning there's enough treble, there's enough of high mids, there's enough of the low mids, and there's enough bass, right? And you can even see in my voice that there is a wide range of frequencies. So that is the idea for this video. So what I did was export the stems from a track that I wrote called Fire, and we are going to look at that. So let's start off by listening to what it sounds like. Because I exported it as stems, it's just a mix from before it was mastered. But that'll do because it should be loud enough. So let's check it out. So now, this time I'm going to solo them, and I want you to watch this EQ. I'm going to solo each sound individually while they're playing so you can see how the sounds take up different frequency ranges and they build on top of each other. In the last video, I mentioned the idea of layering, and this sort of goes into that, where it sounds like the sounds build together to make one sound. So you would think they're one sound, but they're not. They're actually the 4 sounds that I put in yellow. The red ones are the master. So after that, I'll let you hear what it sounds like when it's mastered. But anyway, here we go. So I'm going to solo the sounds individually, and this is what that sounds like. So you can see by looking at the frequencies of the different soloed sounds that they all occupy a different space in the frequency spectrum. And so that's basically it. That's a demonstration of that. That's the way you should endeavor to write music. Make it fill up the entire space. For example, if you have two instruments that sound alike, you might pitch one of them up an octave, if they are playing something at the same time, right? Like if I took this instrument called Pretty Strands that is playing the mid range, because it's playing around here most of the time, and I had a second sound that I wanted to add that sounded like that, I could make it higher so that it took up this space, because the other sound, this one, is taking up this space, and the bass is taking up this space. So I could fill the space that remains, but I don't want to have two sounds that are fighting with each other because they're in the same range. In the last video where I talked about timbre, if they are different timbres, then you'll be able to perceive them both, but they still may compete and one of them may mask the other. So for the sake of simplicity, when achieving clarity and tonal balance, you want to write over the entire spectrum. It can be tempting if you think about something like dance music or hip hop to focus mainly on the bass, but really, you still need information that covers the entire range of the frequency spectrum. So I'm going to play the master version of the song, and well, that'll be the outro, I guess. And if you made it this far into this video, this one was short, sweet, and to the point. But if you checked it out, I thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, because I guess I'll say that if I remember to until I think of some visual way to put it there. And as usual, I thank you for watching, and as usual, have an awesome day. Peace.